Hi everybody, this is the investing teacher, high school science teacher, teaching others how to invest. In this video I want to go over a possible real-world application of using options and selling options to provide for cell phone service for you and a partner. So we're going to look at the numbers on buying a brand new Apple iPhone 13 using either cash secured puts or put credit spreads. Going to look through all the numbers and the different major cell phone service plans, the basic iPhone 13, how much money you would need to earn, including taxes. Going to go dive in through all the numbers here and then see a possible way to actually afford using this service from money that you might have in your brokerage. It actually is a little bit less money than I thought it would be if you go with a fairly conservative strategy on selling put credit spreads around a delta 0.05. So if this video might be helpful for you, please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I heard it helps out the algorithm, so maybe we see a lot more thumbs up. Maybe the algorithm will benefit from it. Definitely appreciate all that support. And let's get right to it. All right, everybody, today I'm rocking the periodic table Mario shirt. I'm a chemistry teacher, if you haven't noticed in previous videos. And I just wanted to look at this real-world application because a lot of times when you're selling options, you might be doing it to build a retirement account, just building it for spending money, maybe on vacations or something. So I wanted to look at a possible real-world application, just using iPhones and being able to buy the service using cash secured puts or credit spreads. That's our main strategies that I do on this channel. So again, let's look through the numbers here. We're going to look at Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. Their monthly cell phone service for two people. We're going to look at getting a new iPhone 13, not the super ideal max one, the basic iPhone 13, which is fairly expensive in my regards. So we got to figure out a way to use Apple stock. We're going to be selling cash secured puts or credit spreads with that stock. We're going to look 1 month out because typical bill is 1 month for your cell phone. You could also look at weeklies, but I just want to keep the numbers simple. We're going to do a monthlies here. We're not going to buy to close them early or anything like that. I just want to set up a position beginning of the month or so, let it go out for 30 days, let it expire. Ideally, most of these will expire worthless, and you keep that premium, and then you just keep rinse repeating month after month. So you'll be receiving the amount of income you need to pay for those phone services. We're also going to look at Uncle Sam. Can't forget the big uncle over there. Taxes make it a little bit trickier to do, but got to make sure that we could afford all the numbers. Based on your situation, you could look at different numbers here. If you're single, you could lower the amounts a little bit because you only need one phone and one plan, even though the one plan is a bit more per month than if you have two lines. When I look through all the services, your tax rate would possibly be different. I'm looking at a pretty consistent tax rate of about 22% and short-term capital gains, which is a majority of a lot of Americans. So again, you could use the numbers that I show up to your situation if you have more or less phones and different tax bracket. So let's get right to the numbers. All right, so we're going to look at the cost of the plan with the phone. On Verizon, we have AT&T 65, T-Mobile 60. We're going to take the average of those. And then we also have to look for the cost of the phone. And using all that information, let's see how we could actually afford this selling options on iPhones or Apple stock. So the goal is to pay for it and service for two people. As I'm going through this, you could change your numbers accordingly if you're single or want to have kids on your plan for more than two lines. And Verizon 60, AT&T 65, T-Mobile 60. We'll just say it's about 65 for that. The iPhone 13, if you want to buy the actual phone, it's $26.66 a month. Retail price $800, but we're going to do the monthly plan so that we could sell cash secured puts or credit spreads with a very similar number. You're going to need two lines for this, so multiply that by 2, you get $53.32 for just the phones. If you add up the phone plus the plan, we'll go $65 average of the three main plans, and then taxes are about $8 on that. The total amount you'll need to earn is $126.52. That's how much your bill will be approximately. However, there is Uncle Sam. He's going to be taking a good cut of the income you make by selling these cash secured puts or credit spreads. So we're going to look at the short-term capital gain rate, and we'll go with the 22% tax rate because married filing jointly, average salary, It's a little over 80 grand. So if you go from 80,000 to 171,000, that's a short-term capital gain of 22%. When you're selling cash puts and credit spreads, it is considered like income gains because you're holding these for under a year. So that's why you have to pay short-term capital gain rate. So not going to lie, Uncle Sam's going to take a big hit here. Income taxes, when you take the 126.52, multiply it by 22%, you're going to have to earn another 27.83 from the income tax you'll have to pay. If we add these two numbers up, the main number we're going to look for is $154.35. That's how much we're going to have to earn in order to pay for this service with approximate average numbers. So we're going to get 3 different ways to earn this much money per month because your cell phone bill comes once a month. We're going to look at selling conservative cash secured puts on Apple. That's where you're agreeing to buy 100 shares at Apple at a certain strike price. We're also going to sell conservative credit spreads on Apple, where you sell a put and then you buy a put at a lower strike price. We'll go at conservative and aggressive there, 2 different options based on your risk tolerance. If you go the cash secured put way, you need to be willing to wheel the shares of Apple if you're assigned. If you're on the credit spreads, we're going to look for not getting a stop loss that's maxed. So if you look at 5 width credit spreads, let's say you sell a 140/135 put credit spread, you could lose up to $500 on that. This is the difference of your premiums. We don't want to lose that full amount. So we're going to look at putting a stop loss. That's pretty conservative as well, but it might occasionally pop up. So let's look at the cash secured put side. Pretty straightforward way to do it. Apple's currently at 146.92 on September 26th when I'm making the video. If you sell about a monthly cash secured put, you go down to the 137 strike price and you're going to earn 1.62 times 100 is $162 in premium. The delta is not 0.8, 0.2. What I meant was it's an 80% chance of it not getting lower than that number, but a 20% chance it could be lower at expiration. Your total cost for this position would be 137 times 100, or $13,700. What this means is if you have $13,700 and you sell the cash secured put at 137, your brokerage will hold this much money in your account. We're not going to look at margin or anything crazy like that, just regular cash account. You'd be able to earn enough in premiums to pay for that 2 phones and service. Now, the issue is you'll be assigned about 1 out of every 5 times when doing this position based on the delta. At that point, you're going to sell a monthly covered call, earning the same amount for your monthly phone bill at the lowest possible delta. If the stock ends up at, say, 135, 134, you could actually sell a covered call above the 137 to earn your $160 or so that you need, and then you might get some capital appreciation as well. If the stock tumbles a lot more than 137, say it goes to like 125 or so, which would be a pretty big drop from the 146, then you might have to sell pretty close to that 137 to earn the same amount in premium. Another way to do it, though, to lower the amount of cash needed to pay for this, is to sell credit spreads. Again, Apple's at 146 or so. What you could do is sell a 120/115 put credit spread. What that means is you sell the 120 and you buy the 115 puts. And you would need to sell 15 of them because on the monthly put credit spread, you'll be earning about $11 per position. If you do 11 times 15, you're earning enough money to pay for that plan. The total cost to actually do this would be the width of the spreads times the number of contracts. $500 is your max loss because that's the width of your spreads. Multiply it by 15 contracts. You're looking at about $7,500 that you need in your brokerage account in order to sell these and earn enough money. Now, the delta on the 120 put is lower than the cash secured put side because we're at a lower strike price. It's only a delta of 0.05, which is a very low delta. It's actually 2 standard deviations away. So Apple would have to really tumble in the next month in order to get below the 120 strike price. If you get lower than 120, actually get lower than 115, you could, however, hit a max loss where if it's under 115, you would actually lose the full $500 on the spread. So what we want to do instead of that is make a stop loss order at $1. Again, you're earning $11. This would actually be 1 times 100 or $100. So it's pretty far out, and there's a pretty low chance that it actually would hit the stop loss. However, if it does, at least you would keep a lot of your money because you would only have a loss of $100 instead of $500. And that's in case Apple tumbles. If it gets near the 130s or so, it might hit this. So again, you don't want to lose a full amount of money to do this because then suddenly you're going to lose $7,500 and you still got to pay for your cell phone bill. Not good business. So if you don't have even $7,500 to do this strategy, you can be a little bit more aggressive on your credit spreads. I don't want to get super aggressive here, but Apple's at 146. If you go to the 130 strike price, you're selling the 130 put and then buying the 125 put as well. There'll be a put credit spread. You would earn 0.26 on this particular spread right now for the monthly. You'd only need to sell 6 of those in order to get enough in income to pay for your plan. 6 times the 500 is a total cost of only $3,000. However, it is more risky. The delta on the 130 put is 0.11. It's about 1 of every 10 times it might actually hit to 130. So again, do the stop loss at about $1. So 4 times what the premium received is. And ideally, it's pretty unlikely for this to occur unless the stock stops to drop a lot. Okay, so using these examples for Apple, which is a relatively lower implied volatility stock, pretty stable and very dependable company in the long run, you actually don't need a ton of money to pay for your cell phone service with the same Apple stock. Consider doing this with other companies. You could do this with just the cell phone service. You could sell cash your puts and cover calls on Verizon or AT&T, for instance, and then see how much it will cost for just the cell phone service. You could also do that and look at other different situations. If you're a high wheeler here, you could possibly do this with Tesla stock and try to pay for the car loan on a Tesla for all you know. So again, real world situation. Hopefully this is a helpful way to consider how much money you need in order to buy certain things using the companies that you still already enjoy and like anyway. Again, I'm the investing teacher, high school science teacher, teaching others how to invest. I'd like to thank everybody for watching till the end of the video. Definitely appreciate it all. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.